All right. So this is the note written about Legacy, and let's read this. No changes. It's been a few months since we took action in Legacy. Back in March, the only real engagement format: the combo Prison or Eldrazi. At the time, remove negative play patterns so it make us spawn and take Reanimator down a peg, which they didn't. I mean, it's still the best deck in the format, by a margin. Thus far, it wasn't mixed to positive. If you have to say mixed, like it's then it's not positive. I'll draw this spawn, this artifact deck. Dimir Reanimator, on the other hand, has remained the most played deck in the format, albeit at a lower win rate and smaller share of the metagame. Smaller share of the metagame. It is more than 3 times the second most played deck. I don't really understand. I don't really understand. It's lower. It's 3 times as much as the next play deck. So I don't really. In a lot of ways, process work intended. Disagree. Eternal formats are places people want to feel they could put a bunch of time into collecting all the cards for a deck and be valuable for a long time. This is not true. It's distinctly untrue. When was Tamiyo printed? When was Atraxa, Murktide, Archon? The deck is good because of all the new cards that people bought and put into the deck. It's not about sideboard Baroglyphs and stuff. These aren't your cards that you owned for 15 years. These are cards you had to buy from Modern Horizons to keep up with the deck. So kind of weird. And this is so frustrating. Given that most of the recent showcase had an extremely diverse top 8 with only one copy of Reanimator, one whole copy in this showcase, they choose to say there's only one copy in the showcase, right? Okay. How about we just look at any challenge? Reanimator. So just 2 Reanimators in the first and second place. Reanimator. 3 Reanimators, including a second place. Reanimator. Okay. 6 out of 8. 6 out of fucking 8. Okay. Next one, Reanimator, 2 Reanimators, and another one, Reanimator. At minimum, there was 2 Reanimators in every top 8, and the high had 7. This one had 6 Reanimators and Oops All Spells and a Stompy. This, can you imagine looking at this and being like, this is great. We have 7 combo decks and a Chalice deck. I just don't understand how anyone could think that makes any sense. Emperor Opine, thank you for the follow. Love the music. But it's just great. It just doesn't make sense. It is hard for us to disentangle if the reason that the mirror is showing up at high rate is because of the best deck, or if Legacy delivering on its promise of allowing with the play year over year. This what do you mean year over year? Hey, what's going on? Well, so I finished my league at a 3-2, so I just started talking about this BNR and how it makes no sense. So just to continue on this topic, and the whole thing is the deck is. And to say only one copy made it, it's so disingenuous and it's so frustrating. Most played cards. This is Tempo and Reanimator. Tempo and Reanimator are just the most played cards by a fucking margin, dude. Yeah, I mean, it feels like it's just like Carmen. I don't know how much she plays Legacy, but it just is it has a feel of someone who has no idea. It's just, even if you're make your decision to not do anything, what the words they're saying to describe why they're doing it don't make any sense. It doesn't make to be in the one showcase, there was only one reanimator, but every challenge has between 2 and 6 reanimators. Like, you just ignore the challenges that happen 8 times a week and choose cherry pick one tournament. And it was played by someone who just picked up the deck. Vic Winsauce, also just picked up a deck and like top aided or whatever. Like, it was ridiculous. And no, you're stuck in this meta for like a year, and that's where I don't know how long my patience will go. All right. Oh, this is also metagame summary. So this one had 5 total reanimator. This one had 5 total reanimator. This one had 9 reanimator and 4 oops as the most played decks. Excellent. Reanimator only 3 here. That's awesome. Whatever day of the week that is, I recommend playing then. Back to 8 reanimators. Yeah. So only one of these where reanimator wasn't. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. And then they're talking about oops all spells. And the thing about oops all spells, and look, I understand that the win rate doesn't meet certain criteria, and I understand if you play the best deck in the format, you could beat oops consistently. I understand if you play 4 Thoughtseize, 4 Days, 4 Force of Will, 4 turn 1 Tamios, and also have Entomb Reanimate or Douthie Voidwalkers, like where you have like 30 cards that are good versus you're gonna do okay. What this does is limit the decks you're allowed to play, essentially. Which is what the whole thing is like. We want people to play year over year. There's decks that just don't exist anymore, right? Like all right, here, I forgot I had this up. Cool. Death and Taxes, 2%, right? Which used to be like a real deck. Where's Maverick, which was a legacy staple? Where's this deck that if people can play the same card year over year, where is that? Is it fucking blasted off the planet because it can't keep up with this? Like, yeah, where's elves? Where's goblins? Where's your tribal creatures? Like, it's just crazy. It's just I just don't get it. And look and all right. And the big thing to me is not only just Entomb in general, right? The issue is that they're continuing to print cards that are very powerful, and they're almost explicitly for combo. If you like, all right, so I played Legacy in 2012, right? That's when I started playing Legacy. So let's look at all 2025. Combo's 50%, right? So half your matches are versus combo. When half your matches are versus combo, you're like Force of Will, Force of Will is 54%. You have to have forces for that. If your combo is 30%, then you can only have 30% Force of Wills. Like, to sort of go with that. I wonder if that's true. Let me see if I'm exaggerating. No, Force of Will is actually higher. Force of Will dropped from. That's so interesting to me. Maybe there were just less good cards. That like, there's only 27%. I guess. All right. When I played in 2012, people were like Force of Will and Delver of Secrets. So I guess like the first play. But yeah, combo got better significantly. Combo gets upgrades almost every set, and so it's to put it in 2 broad terms. Threats have gotten insanely good. They've gotten insanely efficient. Answers have not. So it's like it's just slamming the threats against the threats and hoping your better threats are there. You can't play a control deck. You know what I mean? Look, 16% with 6% being lands. You can cut that as control if you want. Stifle not as control, which I sure. Cradle control as control, which is Cradle control is as much control as some of these other decks. And it's just like true control is just gone. I mean, if you put it into these 3 categories, yeah, I don't know. It's close. It's not true control, but like true control can't exist anymore. True control, it just cannot exist in any fashion. Like your control deck has to be like playing up the Beanstalk in Days and make up. It's not even here anymore. Where is it? 2% of the meta. Like this is control. Like I hate this. It's like I just hate this as a control deck. Like I hate that control has to play like Orcish Bowmaster. Like that's just it's so. it doesn't have the legacy feel of a control deck. Play pre-modern? Yeah, dude, I don't blame you. Like, do what makes you happy. And the thing is, it's frustrating when when you have 55% combo, you need so much force of will to like stop you from dying, right? And like 20, like I don't think in my whole time playing Legacy of 13 years now, where I've ever seen one combo deck just dominate for 3 years or 4 years. How long has it been now? 2024. Reanimator is the most played deck. 2023. Here, so it's around 2023, right? When it got the yeah 20 at the end of 2023, which tracks. So and Reanimator has been the highest played deck since. But it's been about 2 years now. Yep, makes sense. Not 2023. It was invented. There's definitely 2023. I just pulled up a deck. Grief, yeah, no, it was been. Whenever was it really? Yeah, dude, September. No, it's been like 2 full years. It's been 2 full years since the deck was thrown together. So it's been 2 full years of just Entomb dominating the format. Oh, yeah, I mean, going back to thinking about Oops is like I faced Oops with a non-force of will deck. They killed me game one on turn one. Game two, I have Leyline of the Void in play, and they have turn one Belcher, but I have turn two Disruptor Flute to stop it. I'm on the play. And if I'm gonna draw, I lose that also. All right, so I needed to have a graveyard hit and an artifact hit that game. Then the third game, I had Leyline of the Void, where they could have went turn one Balustrade Spy, but instead went turn one Rotting Regisaur, turn two Rotting Regisaur. So now I need to have Leyline of the Void, Disruptor Flute, and like double Swords of Plowshares to combat this. Which is like again, which is why you're supposed to just be playing other combo. like you're just like I should just play a different combo deck. So to me, it's extremely frustrating. All these everything shows that Reanimator. It's the God bless all of you going to Eternal Weekend. I can't make I couldn't make it for a family. I had this with my wife's family that weekend that they do every year because they moved it up this year to October, and normally November is not a problem, but October I can't do. But now I'm not envious at all of everyone who's gonna be versing fucking Entomb the whole tournament. God bless. Yeah. All right, but anyway, that's it. That's all I'm gonna say is that I think in general that there's too much combo. Two, and also I think Tamiyo is just I think having a one mana planeswalker that flips the brainstorm and makes combat harder for your opponent and also wins the game flies his card advantage before it flips is too much value. But yeah, what do I know? I'm just some guy talking. But yeah, I do not like where the format's at. If we took 14% out of this and moved it to control, I'd probably be happier. Yeah, more of a 1-to-1-to-1 ratio instead of control being way gone than aggro than combo dominating. And yeah, and the thing is you need to be playing force because there's so many different types of combos that you just need to have force that can catch everything. So playing non-blue is probably harder now than it ever has been in the format. But yeah. Thanks everyone for hanging out.